Hello children. Today we are going to start new lesson number 6, the never ending story. This is a story about the famous great king Akbar and his courtesan Birbal. This story is not only going to amuse us but also teach us about the important virtues of life because they impart us with a valuable moral at the end. This is Akbar, the great king Akbar. This one is his courtesan Birbal. These are Hakim 1 and Hakim 2. Emperor Akbar was a wise ruler. He was called Akbar the Great. The people of his kingdom loved and respected him. Look at the picture and talk about why Emperor was liked by people. The Emperor loves a good joke. He is good at solving riddles. The second one says he loves music. He listens to Tansen sing every evening. The other says he respects other religion. He likes horse riding. He has respect for learned men. So the people of his kingdom loved him and respected him, and he is liked by all the people. Let's start reading a lesson. Once Akbar fell ill. His Hakim came to see him. Hakim 1, Hakim 2, Akbar, storyteller, Birbal are the characters of this story, which I have told you before reading. Hakim 1 says, Your Majesty, please take this medicine 3 times a day. Hakim 2, Sir, you will need to rest in bed for a few days. Akbar says, I don't mind bitter medicine, but I hate staying in bed. Hakim 1 says, But sir, it is important for you to rest. We will stand outside your door to make sure no one disturbs you for at least 2 days. Just 1 day later, Akbar says, I am so bored, I have nothing to do. I can't eat, I can't sleep at night. Hakims were worried. Hakim 1 says, We have to do something. His Majesty is not eating well. He is not sleeping well. This is not good for his health. Hakim 2 says, Yes, we have to cheer him up. I know someone should tell him a story every night to help him sleep. At first, the plan worked well. Akbar enjoyed listening to stories, but then he began to get upset when they ended. Akbar says, What happened next? Tell me. Storyteller says, The story has ended, Your Majesty. There's nothing more. Akbar says, So soon? Tell me more, otherwise I will be bored again. I can't sleep if I am bored. Hakim 2 says, It is so difficult to find people to tell him stories. No one knows stories that do not end. Hakim 1 says, What shall we do? Everyone is afraid to face the emperor. He gets so angry when the story ends. Hakim 2 says, It is a difficult situation. I know of only one person who can handle this problem. Only Birbal can find a solution. Hakim 1 says, Oh yes, it is the cleverest of the emperor's minister. I'm sure he will find a way. His Majesty is also very fond of him. Let us request him to come. That evening, Birbal went to Akbar and started his story. Birbal says, there was a huge peepal tree in a jungle. It was 100 years old. It was very big and many birds lived in it. Akbar asks, what happened then? Birbal says, the birds made their nest in it. The tree had many branches. Baby birds were safe in their nest. Every morning, the bird flew out to look for food. Akbar says, how many birds were there? Birbal says, 500. In the morning, one bird flew out. Frrr. Akbar says, then? Birbal says, then the second bird flew out. Frrr. Akbar says, what next? Birbal says, the third bird flew. Frrr. Akbar says, what happened after that? Birbal says, the fourth bird flew away. Frrr. Akbar says, oh Birbal, how many more birds? Birbal says, my king, there are 496 birds left. So then the fifth bird flew away. Frrr. Akbar says, stop that. Tell me what happened after they all flew away. Birbal says, how can I do that? 500 birds flew away every morning. Frrr, frrr, frrr. It takes very long. Then they come back one by one. Then they feed their babies. Then they flew out again and come back to rest in the evening. How can I tell you what happened after they all flew away? Those birds never stop flying. Frrr, frrr, frrr. Akbar had no answers to that. He realized it was silly of him to ask for a story that did not end. He stopped asking for stories and soon got well. So, in this way, Birbal tried to make understand Akbar that every story has a end. And Akbar also realized that the story has a end. So children, you must have understood this lesson number 6, the never ending story.